Good evening everyone, welcome to another tournament stream. Today I will be streaming the third day of the professionals tournament for the EU server. So let me take you to the game. Room invite will be up in a few minutes. And tonight I will be streaming Legion versus Loka for you, followed by Legion versus Appa. So we're going to have the Donut Boys again. It's sort of like a Thursday tradition because I've pretty much streamed them every Thursday. Which has been absolutely great fun. And I'm sure they will bring us very quality and very funny games, because that's overall what we've been seeing from them. But if you want to watch other things, you have the coin stream, of course, which is EG versus Immor and EG versus Vil, commentated on by Every Good Name Is Taken. Then we have Fugit, who streams Souls vs Appa and Immor vs Souls, and Rip streaming Raid vs Vil and Raid vs Loka. So pretty much all the matches will get coverage. So it will just be good fun, and I'm actually quite looking forward to it, especially the games that we have tonight, because, well, there's always a bit of history with Loka, because I created the clan and everything, so it's always like kind of my baby, even though I've not been in it for years. And overall, it's just, I love streaming tournaments like this. It's just interesting to see, and mostly because the level of gameplay that you get right now is basically the highest level of gameplay that you will get. And there is a room, let's go. And that is basically what I love about streaming these tournaments, because it's just, like I said, it can't get better than this. And yeah, we just have to wait. Eggy grabbing the Kenny. Oh, the weird thing is though that Eggy, the Kenny isn't actually any fun anymore. That is the weird thing. And that's not so much because the Kenny has been touched, because it really hasn't. But the fact that it's just overall, everything around it has been buffed and changed and everything. It's no longer competitive. The regular Kenny is a lot better than this now. But yeah, let's focus on the games that we will be getting. Let's actually just have a quick check, because the countdown has started on every stream as well. I am watching the coin stream on my iPad. Obviously, for obvious reasons, I now is taking the Fury, which is pretty much one of my favorite tanks. But yeah, I'm not going to be watching, but I want the coins. So yeah, in that way, I am still watching the stream. We are starting off on Fort Despair. Let me grab that map for you real quick, if I can find it, even though it's like in an alphabetical order. There we go. This is the map we are starting on. Of course, it is famous for the grill boost in the lower right corner. I'm not actually certain if that can happen still, because they've changed a lot of the boost places, basically, where you could push tanks up recently with the last update or so. So some tactics we've seen people try and push tanks up and it no longer works. So it will be interesting to see what they do. In the meantime, Object 3 is also grabbing a Kenny. But yeah, 3 bases on the map that we are going to. Base B in the middle, A of course wide open, C a bit more protected but a bit more away from everything. Overall, this is a heavy meta map, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do here, because right now in Loka's lineup I don't see any super heavies, which could be interesting because that might mean that we get an early brawl. But I'll take away the map so that it's no longer blocking your screen, and we will focus on the battles at hand. Now, just a few disclaimers, basically standard. If you want to have coins, you have to watch through the portal. My stream is not the coin stream today, so you will be seeing EG's games, not Legion's. But like me, you can have pretty much the game being streamed on one device and watch whatever you actually want to watch on another device. As everything is being streamed, basically you can watch all the matches. And other disclaimer, I apologize in advance for any brain derps. I've been having a very bad health week. No, not corona, but I have plenty of health issues and that's not really going well this week. And third, praise be to the donuts. Overall though, we're just gonna have fun with it. Loka has now completely redded up with 4 IS-4s, 2 E5s and a Sheridan. And it will be interesting to see what they do with it. Also what Legion is taking, because like I said, it is a heavy meta map, but you can really use fast tanks to get around places and to basically sort of pincer your enemy, but it kind of depends on where you plan to go, of course. The map is relatively small, and you can bet that both these teams will be bringing their focus fire and everything. And we see a lot of IS-4s emerging on Legion's side as well, and that makes sense, because especially after the heavy buff, the heavies are good contenders again, and especially IS-4 has made a big comeback. E5 there as well, especially with the consumables that it has. With the only difference that it is a juicier tank to shoot than the IS-4. With a map like this, the speed boost is not going to help you all that much. So it will be interesting to see what they do, like I said. Sandbag armor though can make a big difference in everything. And yeah, in 40 seconds we get to go into the very first match of this matchup. And it's going to be fun. It's a best of 7, so the first team that reaches 4 victories is the one that's going to take it home. And now we see Legion's lineup is final with a 268, 3 IS-4s, potentially 2 E5s, maybe 1. No, they might be changing, no idea. Over there might be changing lineups, provisions and everything. And an E100, but there we go, they stick with the E5s. Just checking to make sure that there is no map on the screen on OBS, because that is something that I have done in the past. And I always just check, double check that I don't do it again. Juicy, in the meantime, seems to have changed his name again. He's been doing that a lot lately. But now he is Juicy_Legion. So here we go. Into the very first match. And it's loading me in very, very late, which is always a bit worrisome when that happens. There we go. There's my Sheridan. It's gonna go kaboom in 3... Oh, already. Never mind that. And let's go up and away. My ping is not the best. I checked my internet beforehand. It is absolutely fine. I even restarted my modem, so it's not that. And we have Legion focusing primarily on the base A side with 2 IS-4s, well 3 IS-4s I think, heading towards the base C area. And we see Loka doing similarly, mostly focusing on the A side and the middle, with a little bit towards C. I'm not going to be moving my camera too much when it's this dodgy. Eggy and Last moving in. And that shot misses. Eggy taking a tiny bit of HP damage, but with them capping together, they might very well just get this together. But not before Loka grabs base B, which means that Loka will have a slight point advantage, even if it will be very, very slight. And we see Last basically now in a bit of a tricky position versus Allison there. And my camera is flying itself. What the hell, dudes? Give me back my camera control, please. Okay, thanks. This is not hopeful. No idea what my camera is doing. This is camera lag. Thank you very much. Ariana holding in the middle. We see Don, Vano and Juicy heading towards the corner. My camera is flying itself again. This is not looking good at all. Like literally. I might miss out a lot of action because you see my ping is perfectly normal, but my camera is flying itself. That is not hopeful. Let's see if I can move again. There you go. Kind of afraid to do anything right now. But basically we have a bit of a stalemate game right now. Juicy is getting shot at, but it doesn't pen. Ariana has lost a tiny bit of HP, so it has lost an NG. But overall both teams are looking very healthy with only 200 thereabouts HP between them as a difference. And Aggie just lost a bit of HP. Base C is being stolen. That is an interesting move. Tricky move too, because if they get away with that, that is not something that you want. But Lost manages to reset it. And Allison is trying again, but is now losing more HP doing it. Juicy in the meantime also losing some HP in the corner. But I'm focusing a little bit more on this side. I can actually fly behind the tower. That's nice. And they are focusing on Allison here. But Allison is not alone. Eagle Eye is behind. But now we have 4 tanks pushing on these two. And Allison is the preferred target. Look at this. The HP just bleeding away there. And Allison is barely alive at this stage. Object 3 taking a hit there, but there's the first gun gone. Don Vano not looking too healthy in the corner. Loka responding to Legion making a push on the other side. Eagle Eye now the next target in line. Last getting another shot in, and there goes Eagle Eye. Whoopsie has lost half of his HP thereabouts. Don Vano finally destroyed, but there goes Juicy as well. But it's taking them a long time to do that, and Legion here is pushing in, going after Rico. Again, apologies for the shady camera work that I have. Object 3 is still alive, but oof, there he goes. And Legion has now lost 3 guns versus 2 of Loka. But Nick evens the score. HP wise, it is still very, very close. And it will all be about the focus fire that is happening here. Eggy getting shot in the rear. Eggy almost dead. Nick staying behind him. Trying to keep Eggy safe. But Eggy, oof, surviving, but barely. But there he goes. Base B has been stolen though. But Loka has a gun advantage, and that could be very dangerous. And they are moving in for the juicy E5s, which are easier to destroy overall than the IS4s are. Angie still alive. Last still alive. Last focusing on Baron. And it will be mostly about surviving if they can stay alive. Last is going after Baron. And definitely not Rico. Oof, but that bounce though. That bounce though, those are very important bounces. And it can be very tricky. Especially now that Angie has been taken out. This kill is all the more important. And now Lost just needs to stay alive for a few more seconds. And he's going to do that. There we go. With that base B capture, that proved to be absolutely vital for Legion. Very well done. And a very close game, to be fair. Look at the damage that Rico did. Oh my god. And yes, damage of course in tournament battles does not mean the same thing as it does in pop battles. Mainly because of the fact that you are working as a team. And you can be utterly effective without doing the damage in a tournament battle. But still, 5k damage is quite a feat in tournament battles because of that. So now we are seeing a very different lineup appear on Legion's side with 2 mice. And for the rest it's still a combination of IS4s and E5s. We see 3 E5s this time instead of IS4s, and we see 2 IS4s and 2 mice. And they're gonna go up against a 268, a mouse, 2 IS4s, 2 E5s and a Sheridan. And in just 1 minute we are going to go back into the game. I am getting notifications on Discord. Know that I do not check messages while I'm streaming tournaments. But I will check them afterwards. But I sincerely hope that all the streams are going okay. I know that Every sometimes has some internet issues. And I just hope that everything works well for him. Because it's a coin stream and he's really excited. So half a minute left to go before we go into the second match. And then we'll see what they do. Probably Fort Despair is not one of my favorite maps, to be fair. Because it is so small. For seal clubbing it's fine because your tanks are tiny and that makes the map look so much bigger. But especially with the giant tanks, it is not one of my favorite maps. But when you collect ghost battles like we did just now though, that is good fun. And let's see, here we go. And let's see if I can actually load in at a normal time. And let's hope that my camera this time is working as intended. Oof. Can't really do much about that though. Of course, Legion sporting the Legion camo. And this is not promising. I hear the tanks moving, but I can't see anything. But here we go. I will go for a bit more hovering in camera work, mainly to avoid camera issues, and then you can still see what is going on. Karolek immediately taking a hit there in his missile, but there we see a missile, and it hits the building. And he runs off. Loka focusing entirely on the base C side. A and B ignored by Loka. But that could potentially mean that Legion can get 2 bases. It's Lost that's actually moving into base B. Donvano has been spotted. He is being very forward. And he gets tracked, but it doesn't actually do any damage. Ariana at the back. Oof. Donvano taking it there from Allison. And he is so forward, but Karolek is being... Oof, whoops, taking a big hit there. But Karolek has lost quite a bit of HP by YOLO Donvano. And he just needs one more reload base. Well, he's almost gone. He does take a hit from Ariana by that though. Base A now has also been capped, and that's probably one of the things that worked with Donvano pushing as fast as he did and as hard as he did. Because that gave Legion the advantage. Now though, Donvano is not looking too healthy, and Eggy standing right behind him is actually blocking him a little bit. Legion rushing in, Donvano being kept alive by his teammates. And we have Legion pushing in. Karolek is taken out. Lost is set on fire. Donvano losing HP. Whoops, getting murdered. And overall the focus fire is not quite there with Loka, but Legion is losing a lot of HP. They've basically both lost 2 guns now, and Whoops is not looking healthy at all. And he's on fire as well, so he might not survive for long. There he goes with a flying turret to boot. Eagle Eye next in line. Loka chasing after. Eagle Eye gets taken out, and now we have Rico and No Party Without Me pushing, but Legion is focusing on Baron and Allison. And it's actually Eggy that takes him out. And now Allison is pushing back. Oh, those shots though. And this is focus fire at its best. Juicy is now turning around to help Eggy. And we have Object 3 going in, probably going to take a hit. But oh no, he doesn't even do that to take out Allison. Eggy still alive, but barely. But Legion, again, they have 2 bases. They are already 900 points. They are unlikely to lose this unless magical things happen and Loka gets a ton of ammo racks. And Juicy is just being a bully and forwards, and he doesn't even care anymore. No Party Without Me, still losing HP. And there we go, 1k points. And only Rico is still alive, and he's still losing HP. So that is the second game. That is going in Legion's favor. Relatively close, but I like the intelligent play that Legion is doing with regards to the bases, because that is definitely the way to play Supremacy. So we're moving on to Desert Sands. Desert Sands looks like this. You have 3 bases, 1 in the desert, 2 in the city. C, the most basically protected base of the 3 of them. But positioning overall in desert is better, and it will be... Well, I always say that's interesting, but all these battles are interesting. That's the whole thing. But it will be cool to see what they do and where they go, because in the tournament you have 7 players that are all on voice together, that are a team. They can go any way that they want, regardless of what team what team composition they have, and if they're playing all heavies or not, because you can make both sides work. So with that, we have just under a minute left to go. I've taken the map off OBS so that it's not blocking your screen, and we have Loka now completely ready with 1 Sheridan, 2 IS4s, 3 E5s and potentially a 268. But he just unready, so he might still change. And on the other side we see 2 T22 mediums, 2 E100s and 3 E5s probably. And there you go. They stuck with their tanks. This is basically where I find, well, I miss the old E5 with the cupola because I like that a lot better. But competitive wise, the E5 as it is now without the cupola is a lot better. But with the speed boost, it can get places so much faster. And that makes quite a huge difference. And here we go into the countdown for the third match of this matchup. There's no real pressure just yet. The first team to reach 4 victories wins the point. So it will all depend basically on what happens this battle, because if Legion wins this battle as well, it means that then there's pressure, because then Loka basically has to win 4 battles in a row in order to take home the points. And with the Legion in this shape, that is no easy feat. So let's see what they're gonna do with this. And again, I'm loading quite late. I don't think the game likes me much tonight. But it is what it is. And we'll just have to live with it. For a very long time, the E5, I think maybe it still is actually, was my most played tank. I absolutely adored it. It worked well for me. Heaviums and I just get along. But since they changed, I've barely driven it because I don't enjoy it that much. The E5s are crossing over. But the thing is that they probably saw that shot from No Party Without Me hit the sun, so they know that they've crossed over. Most of Legion is in the desert as well though, but we have 2 IS-4s versus 2 E100s in the middle. And it will be interesting to see if the E100s are pushing into the desert and probably maybe get murdered by the IS-4s in town, or if they're going to push up and those IS-4s will not be able to do anything. Don Vano taking a big hit there though, and the IS-4s are pushing in behind the E100s. Oh! Oof! Poor Ariana crossing over the rail, not working out. The E100s are pushing, the rest of Legion is now too. They kind of have no choice with those IS-4s coming up behind them. And Eagle Eye is now the preferred, well basically still Ariana would be the preferred target. Don Vano is almost gone. There he goes. Ariana Grande is still alive. But Eagle Eye is being murdered quite horribly. And there he goes. The T-22s are not looking all too healthy either though. They have to be careful. Massive hit into Baron's backside there by NG. But Loss is taken out first, and Legion might have overgambled this. With those IS-4s in the position that they were, that was actually absolutely brilliant. With the way that they were pushing. I'm trying to show you everything at once, while focusing on all sides. Baron, still alive, but barely. There he goes. No Party Without Me as well. Dakuda's losing more HP. And we have Whoops ignoring the shots that he's getting from behind to push in, to go after Karolek. Dakudas has to survive this. And with the way that he's positioned, he will be able to. Angie losing more HP to the guns that are behind him than the Sheridan in, well, technically in front of him. And Ariana Grande is actually being left as it is. It is 4 versus 3. Whoopsie not looking too healthy, but instead of taking the kill shot on Angie, Ariana chose to shoot Whoops. Angie has been taken out though, which means that is now 3 versus 3. Dakudas has to be careful. Rico has not fired. They're waiting for Rico to make that shot. There is the missile, but it didn't pen. And Allison is next in line, but Dakudas is going to be pushing. No, he's not. And that hesitation might have cost Loka the game here. Because if he had not hesitated there and gone after Dakudas, it might have been different. But now it's 2 versus 2. And DPM wise, yes, Dakudas might be taken out. And it's that missile that you have to be careful for. So he's actually moving himself behind the corpse. Has the sandbag, and that actually missed. Dakudas now probably going towards base A. At least that's what I would expect. Eggy pushing up and over the train tracks. Ariana waiting there. Dakudas making his way towards base A. Eggy in hot pursuit. And Ariana waiting. And I think that waiting is potentially going to cost Loka the game as well, alongside with that hesitation. Because there was no reason for that. Eggy, now careful. Dakudas, having kept the base, doesn't need to take any chance. Ariana wanted to get Eggy. But they're both basically playing cat and mouse here. And you have to be careful with those missiles. But with the building in between them, it will be difficult for... Oop! Camera derp. And Dakudas is now pushing in. And Eggy is using these buildings perfectly. Because this is big. No! Camera! Stop! Stop! I don't want to... Dude, honestly. And Dakudas actually takes him out from the train tracks. God, I hate this camera stuff. I wanted to see that. But that was actually lovely. The way that they were using this building. Because, yes, the missile can hit you behind cover and everything. But it is difficult to basically work them around a building. And that is basically what I liked about what Eggy was doing. By using that building, he wasn't letting Ariana get close. At the same time, Ariana wasn't taking any chances, and that just gave Legion more and more of an advantage. And now the advantage is definitely on Legion's side. The pressure is on Loka. They need to win the next 4 battles in a row. And like I said, against Legion in this shape, that is no easy feat. And Legion only has to win 1 of those 4 games in order to get the point for this matchup. Just a minute left to go before we go into the game. Legion now taking again 2 T22 mediums, 2 E100s and 3 E5s. They're not changing anything. And Loka is still not leaving the Sheridan behind. But they're leaving the 268 and taking a T628 instead. Wanting probably to get that bit of mobility and the DPM that goes along with it. So there we see 1 Sheridan, 2 IS4s, 3 E5s and a T62A. So let's see what's going to happen. Can I just say, by the way, that it looks like the counter on the EU server is not working tonight as well. I see just Darth made it into the, the stream chat. But the counter isn't working and I am logged in. And here we go. 3 seconds into potentially the last game of this matchup. And there we go. And we are almost going straight. I'm just quickly notifying Darth that the counter isn't working. And let's go up and away. We have the E100s going towards the middle again. My camera derping again, or at least my game freezing. Honestly, this is annoying as heck. We have the E5s pushing into the desert on both sides. The E100s wanting to see anyone cross over, but they're not able to. No HP having been lost yet. And no bases have been kept, but Last is in the position to basically proxy spot people. Only there's no one there to spot. Ariana in the Sheridan, of course, we see a missile flying, and it does not pan. Whoopsie making it to safety alongside Last. And Allison is all the way in the corner. We now see Object 3 moving into the base to put that little bit of pressure on. Most of Legion alongside in good positions here to hold. Ariana moving in, shooting a missile, getting a hit, but not before the base has been kept already. And now Legion just has to hold. Allison still at the back. Loka is a gun short. They do not know where the FE is. The E100s are in the middle. Ariana now getting actually the shots in that we've been waiting for all these matches. and the reason why missiles should not be in the game. Now we have Allison that is going to come up behind Eggy. Karolak taking a hit there. Eggy missing. Allison not pushing. Legion has a tiny HP disadvantage here. But overall, Eggy is basically the one in danger. And we see Object 3 and Whoops immediately responding to that to support him if needed. They are now in a position where they can move in straight away if they need to. And now Legion is going in. Going after these three, but not quite yet. Waiting a little bit, pushing Loka back further. We see another missile hit. And not entirely certain what Legion is doing here. Oof, back here into Karolak. T-62A now the preferred target. Object 3 though, losing a lot of HP, last being taken out now. There goes Karolak. No party without me next to line. Eagle Eye, like I said, not looking too healthy. Nope. This camera stuff is really annoying me. There goes no party without. Both teams have lost 2 guns right now. HP wise, Loka has a tiny advantage, but it's not too big or too much. We have Ariana Grande at the back though, able to do tons of damage. Whoopsie not looking too healthy. Dakoda's taking a hit. Baron now taken out. But Whoops is almost gone. No idea how he's still alive there. But there he goes. And there goes NG as well. It's 3 versus 4. And Eggy is basically in a tough position. Dakodas can't really do much with the HP disadvantage that he has. Eagle Eye trying to take a shot at Dakodas, and he does. He takes him out. Eggy though is going to take him out instead. And Juicy taking a hit. They want to get Allison there, but they will have to content themselves with focusing on Rico. They also need to... Oof. That was a very impatient shot from Juicy. I hardly dare to move my camera at this stage. But there we go, we can see everything at least. And Juicy not looking too healthy here. Eggy. They need to focus on Rico. They need to ignore Ariana if they want to have any chance at all. Eggy going after Ariana. He has the HP, but Juicy might not make this. And he does not. And that shot hits the ground, and that is very important. Because now, even with an E100, he might not be able to chase him down. And he should contend with Rico instead. If he takes him... Oh no! That is a very important shot to not pen. Let's see. And there he goes. Ariana taking him out, and Loka wins their first game. $5.5k damage now for Ariana. That is basically the danger that a Sheridan can be. And we go on to the next map, which is actually my favorite map in the whole game. Which is Faust. You have 4 bases. Base A the map base, base C and D close to their respective spawns, base B in the middle. Lots of lines of fire into all bases. A is a little bit secluded, but it basically takes you a long time to get anywhere from there. So again, with all the bridges and tunnels, this is my favorite map because it's the least predictable. It also means that we've seen some very fun games here across all tournaments so far. And let's see, Loka now ready in a Sheridan, 3 IS-4s, a T-22 medium, an E5 and a T-62A, and they're going to go up against a 268, 2 AMX-50Bs, 2 IS-4s and 2 E5s. And no, the coins aren't working. I've already notified Wargaming. Now the counter has started. So that is not very promising. Just started. half an hour. Just notifying Wargaming. But yeah, that is not very hopeful at all. But at least the counter is now going. But there we go. 14 seconds before we go into the match. And Wargaming is aware they will figure out what to do tomorrow. Probably people will get coins like they did in Asia server. Because in Asia server it also didn't work today. I just hope that Every's not getting any hate over it. Because it's not his fault. He can't really do anything about this. And here we go. And no, don't post spoilers. Fake or real, just don't. If you want to troll, you can troll elsewhere. And I do like that my moderators are the babbling people that are doing it. So if you, basically, if they hide you, that means that you can never talk on the channel again. That also means that you can't answer giveaways and stuff. So just so you know. And here we go. And let's see. Camera seems to be working fine again. This is something I've noticed, by the way. There's a sense the camera is really faulty. Because that is where this always happens, and now it's just working fine. Legion ignoring base C altogether, not going to cap it. Going for base B instead. Whoopsie, making quite a daring move there. But Loka is also ignoring base C. Base D, sorry. Dakuda's taking a bit of hit, going down that. But they now have a base, and Loka has a tiny point advantage. And... okay, now the camera's derping again. Legion pushing in. Whoopsie. Going in as well. I want to show you everything at the same time. I'm kind of... this is what I mean. No! What the hell? I have no idea. Honestly, guys, sorry. This is like the amazing flying itself camera. It would help if I could actually get... yes, this is nice stars. That is not what we want to see. Basically, we have Legion pushing in. No party without me losing quite a bit of HP. Baron not looking too healthy. But overall, everyone is losing HP quite fast. And no one is actually dying aside from Baron just now. Eagle Eye. Almost gone as well. There he goes. And though Juicy has been taken out, Loka is missing 2 guns here. Don Vano not looking too healthy. He is instantly gone. Angie is still reloading. That missile went through the wall but then into the ground. And Loka still has a tiny bit of point advantage. Lars has to be a bit more careful here. Addison pushing in. Ariane again ignored in the Sheridan. T62A is the preferred target right now, and actually with him getting himself stuck, he is taken out. But now Angie is reloading again. Allison took too much time trying to kill Angie, which means he's now facing off against Object 3, but Object 3 is actually bounced, but Allison gets taken out anyway. Now we have no party without me here, getting chased after by Dakudas. Ariane arriving, he's going to take out Whoopsie. No, he does not. He does not even take out Angie. Definitely not Rico, still alive. But Ariane is not looking too healthy, and he's being chased by 2 hungry E5s, and there we go. And Legion wins the matchup. In the meantime, Kiwi is like full-on cheerleader right now. Well, that is a very, very quick game, I believe. Yeah, just under 3 minutes here. Very well played, though. It was kind of aggressive, and it could have gone either which way. We missed some of the action because my camera wanted to go stargazing, but yeah. And that is the first matchup of tonight. And basically now we just have to wait. Let's have a quick look what is happening on the other side of things. What is happening with Vil? They are still going. EG, of course, the coin stream right now. There we go, come on. EG took it home versus Imo with 4-1. Then we have Appa. I think that's the last matchup we are waiting for. Oh no, they were up against EG. No, I think that's all of them actually. So the rest hasn't finished yet. I'm always clicking too fast. In 31 minutes we get to see the next matchup. So I will be entertaining you with a whole selection of replays right now. Because you don't want to see me playing. So let's see, what have I got for you? I got quite some replays. And I'm going to start with a gameplay from Fufu because he sold this to me with the description that he was not camping. And that is something I really like. Come on, there we go. So let's see. In the meantime, everything is very slow. So we just have to be a bit patient here. There are days when this game is just like working flawlessly, and there are games where it's like lagging like blip. And that is generally very annoying. But yeah, let's see what is going to happen. Nice little bat thing. And yeah, you'll just have to sit through some replays right now because, yeah, like I said, I can't play PC to save my life. So I'm not going to do that to you. And if I hook up my iPad, then my laptop is definitely not going to be happy. This is a tank that I really liked when it first came out. I still like it, but I'm just not enjoying TDs all that much anymore. So Fufu going straight through the town. Probably to get shots like... Probably not to get shots like that though. Base C being taken. I haven't taken a big hit there. There's a Death Star that probably wants a piece of him, and then he shoots the ground. Fufu, this is not the kind of gameplay you promised me. 183, not staying there. But to be fair, he is not camping, and I'm a big fan of that. There you go. And he's capping the base. That is also good because then you get some points. And points are always helping towards your XP. Let's see. He wants that E4. 4 probably wants him as well, but he does not get the chance. This is actually his team being quite good and working together and everything. And since you can't really angle towards every side, yes, he was one shot, but you could actually ammo rack him. But what I like about, ooh, nice fire. What I like about the grill is the mobility and just the damage that it does. It is a good tank. And this is also something I like. Just turning around, going after the next target. Not going after the bat chat here though. I'm not sure which one he was aiming at there, but it worked. Don't block your teammate though, that is not nice. And Fufu is being very, very forward. He did pretty much get his teammate almost murdered there. Yeah, I agree. And there we go, the last one. Ah, Fufu, don't block people. Nice ace though overall, nice aggressive gameplay, nice aggressive team to be fair. Because they did really well together. Some supremacy points. And that is the first game I'm showing you. In the meantime, again, I'm getting notifications on Discord. I can't really do much of anything about that. I'm not gonna check them. I'll check them after the stream. Let's see, what else have I got for you? I got a replay from one of the Legion guys. Not the one in the team, mind. But still. Let's have a look. I like how some people are actually thinking that Ariana Grande is playing the... I like how people think that Ariana Grande is actually playing the game. But yeah. Ooh, he's actually tuning with Papa Stan. Stan, of course, one of the players that's gone to 2 offlines already for Legion and EG. Both in bad chats. Both jumping. And let's see. It did hit, just didn't pattern. No, I can't really see him. That is just wishful thinking. Hoping. Oh no, he actually does. And then he doesn't take the shot. And he's like, yeah, let's not be here. Nice sneaky shot there. That works. Oh my god, first you bounce on the bed chat and then you get ammo wrecked. He is not going to be a happy camper. Oh, I kind of feel sorry for him. Let's see. Ooh, there's a Fosh. Fosh is going hardcore. And now he's reloading again. Fosh, oof, I feel sorry for the I7 there. And both of them are just leaving it be and going after the Fosh here. Of course, with the Fosh that focused on. This is going to be a nice clip. There you go. IS-7 still dies. And the SCB wanted to rush the bad chat. Not really realizing that there's 2 of them. And when one has finished firing, now we have Bolt that is again sporting a full clip. Well, not longer full clip. And Stan has now also reloaded. There you go, that is nice and troll. That missed though. Oof. Stan not in the best of health. And they're both running away. Grill of course being pro at going up the ledge there. Oof. Stan's still alive, but barely. Getting tracked, but it means that Stan stays alive a little bit longer. Ball a little bit too impatient with his shooting actually. Because he bounced two of these shots when he really didn't need to. Stan, still alive. Have to give him credit for that. And now Ollie's just moving on in. Taking him out. And Stan is in big trouble. He does not have the HP to stay alive for long. But now we have Ollie there as well. And the STB is now one shot. But they have to be careful. They know someone's at the Citadel. There you go. That is an E1. And we do not have the gun depression to hit that. Basically, they need to take that STB out. Now he's reloading his clip. It's kind of dangerous to go up here like that when you're reloading your clip though. And again, Sten is still alive. I feel that needs pointing out. We have an IS-7 that is still there. Dodgy as F. It's a close game so far though. Oof. And there's an STB. And there was an STB. We still have the missile tank to contend with though. Well, if that's the actual life size of your thingy, that explains your anger issues. Just saying. There we go. Five kills. Ollie happy with the AFK. Shame that there's no rest, that the E1 basically murdered himself. Stan also getting the damage. And now they're blocking the shot from the grill to avoid the grill getting the kill. And there we go. Ollie takes it home. Should have been harassed. If not for the guy murdering himself. $6k damage. 6 kills. 1652 base XP. And massive kudos for Stan for staying alive like that. To be fair, he really shouldn't have. But the enemy team was just the right kind of potatoes. IS-7 doing quite some damage there. Just being utterly clueless with where he was. So we still have about 20 minutes left to go. In order to... before we get the next matchup. Which is of course Legion versus Appa. So let's see, what else have I got for you? Yeah, I'm actually going to make a shameless plug for another channel. Because there's this... God, my laptop is slow. Could potentially be that rather than the game, but yeah. Again, not much I can do about it right now. Come on, load it. Here we go. Just need to be very patient with it. I might actually just cut the music in order to make sure that you have a working camera, but I'm not sure that's going to be fixing anything because it's the game and OBS that are doing this. And let's see. But yeah, Kuma from North, one of the players of Win, he's actually streaming this season as well. He's streaming the Challenges tournament from his own perspective because he is actually in the team from Win. So he has a Twitch channel. I've been posting it in the announcement section of my Discord. So by all means check it out and check him out as well. So let's see what he's going to do. actually really like this tank. Haven't driven it that much. It was completely OP during testing. Has actually been tested like maybe 3 times or something to just get balanced a little bit. And it can still be very strong right now. Bad chat jumping down, taking some damage from jumping. That is not where... Oof, that bounced though. That grill's not going to be happy. Imagine bouncing on the ass of an AMX 30B. Not enough patience in the shots here. There we go. Object 263 has been moving up quite much. This is something I actually quite like. It is not called the... Oof, that definitely pinned. It's not called the YOLO wagon for nothing. Base D is being stolen. The team over here is camping and Kuma is like, yeah, let's not be here. Let's see. In this case, he basically abandoning his teammates to their fate. Which is not necessarily the worst thing. But in this case, it is kind of sad though. And he can't even shoot the STB. There you go. But with them pushing over, they should lose more HP than they are. And at least he's getting some shots in where he is without getting murdered himself. But now they're already in a 4 versus 6 situation. And we have the E1 that is going through their spawn. So he should be spotted soon. No idea where that went. I'm not sure if that panned. It's dangerous to stay in the same position though, because especially once they figure out where you're shooting from. There goes the tortoise. And the E1. No, sorry, he got taken out. Never mind me, I thought he was still alive, but he was massacred. It's just a Sheridan. Yeah, this is the thing about missiles though, he doesn't need to get away from there. I'm not sure where it's gonna go with this. They kind of need the bases. The reason, by the way, I'm showing this also is because he said it was an unexpected ending. So I'm kind of curious about what is going to happen. He's not going into the base. He's also not driving down a tree. This is something that a lot of people do when they really shouldn't. Nice fire. Oof, how did that pen? Now if the Sheridan coming up. That is one. Let's see. AMX moving in. But staying behind the building. This is like, we know where most of the people are, but you have to be careful. STB went away. AMX arriving. Base B now being taken, so we know where there's another one. Oof, he does take a hit though, and that makes him a potential one-shot for the grill. But most of them are one-shots. Grill is just... okay. That is the grill gone. Dun 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 dun. Thing is, he kind of has to find them. And now with them having 2 bases, the pressure is a bit more on him. That is another one. No, not 400. It was a lot less than that. But where is the standard B? Thing is though, if he were to focus on getting the bases now, with the standard B not appearing anywhere, standard B was not AFK. Dude, you should have gone for base B and then drove straight through to base D to keep them from getting any point. Well, no, it actually wouldn't have mattered. Oh, hello. We have adrenaline. He's not even AFK, he's just clueless. What the hell is he doing? His turret is even moving, he's even keeping track of movements. What the hell? Look at this. It's not even looking at him. No! Oh my god, no! Oh, that is so mean. So close. And yet so far. 5.8k damage, 1466 base XP. Oh, I do feel for you, hun. That was brutal. But this guy, though, that must have been... He couldn't... Well, it must have been a bot battle or something, I don't know. Because he was just standing there and his gun cap's moving just a little bit in front of him. That is the weirdest thing. But yeah. I'm just closing a few programs to see if that helps my CPU any. Because I have a feeling that that is what is going on. Don't know yet though. But yeah, the second matchup will start in 8 minutes, which means that I cannot show you another replay. Because I don't want to risk missing the room. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Is it a good thing that my task manager is taking forever to load? Or is that an issue? I have a feeling it's the latter. Let me just actually... Oof, now everything is so slow. I'm just going to pause. I have like this preview of the stream and I can check how the stream is running. Just pause that so that that is no longer an issue. Let's see what is causing all my CPU to be murdered. I think it's OBS. Yeah, it's OBS and it's Blitz together. Not really surprised there. But yeah, that means that it doesn't really matter if I close anything else. Because they will just eat the CPU up anyway. I will close Discord just to see if that helps any. I will just have to wait a little bit for the room to pop up. That gives me a little bit of time to tweak settings and close apps. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. There you go. Basically, I'm figuring closing anything that doesn't really need running is going to help a tiny, tiny little bit. But yeah, I will need to talk to Lopani afterwards to see what we can do about this. In the meantime, you are... God, at least my task manager is running quite smoothly, but just nothing else. There we go. I think I've closed Discord now. That is another thing. And there we go. There's a tournament room, so let's focus on that instead. All of Legion already there. And I'll actually just press ready so that can't go wrong. Let's see. Like I said, anytime I close anything, everything else just eats up more. So that doesn't really matter. Let's see. We are going to Naval Frontier, so let me show you that real quick. This is not what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to be a lot smaller, but that is easily fixed. There we go. Naval Frontier, 3 bases, A considered map base, B in the middle, C, well actually no, A is considered a heavy base when you look at the spawns, but overall I find that it works really well with medium tanks. There's a lot of lines of fire into pretty much every base from a lot of sides. That makes it a little bit of a tricky map, also makes it one of the more fun maps. We've also seen some really epic pushes over time, and it will be fun. Appa, of course, having quite some controversy not too long ago with the whole aimbot thing and everything. It has been confirmed by Wargaming that he's not using an aimbot though. But the thing is that the clips that he was posting is just those happy shots that make it look like that. But if you see the full clips and you see other gameplay of his, then you see that he's not that OP. And that he actually just shoots normally. So 3 minutes left to go before we go into the first game of the second matchup. Legion has already readied up in a 268, an E5, 2 IS4s, an E100 and 2 Sheridans. Of course, with a map like this, Sheridans can definitely make a big difference, and it will be fun to see what they do with it. And if they get their shots in, because that is the strength and the weakness of the Sheridan. Yes, she can shoot people from behind the rocks and not get shot at in turn. At the same time, hitting the targets and panning them can be difficult, especially if they're wiggling and everything. Appa still running up a little bit, but they still have like 2.5 minutes. And that is plenty of time. Oh, but you're just reaching the point now in the stream where Akuma did not win that game, and it's just, oh, poor guy. Two minutes left to go, and then we see what is going to happen, what they're going to do on this map. Appa has now readied up in 2 IS4s, a Sheridan, 2 E5s, a T22 medium, and a 113. That is quite a different lineup. 113 is a tank that we do see, but we don't see all that often right now. It is still a very strong tank, but it's just not as competitive as, for instance, the E5 and the IS4 are right now, with the consumables that the E5 has, and just overall the troll armor of the IS4, combined with all the, of course, the HP buff that all the tanks have had now. So yeah. We just have to wait a little bit. This is always the boring part, where basically everything is ready except for the game itself. But it's just over a minute, so that's not too much patience that we need to have. And honestly, I can't wait. It's been great fun, save the camera derps that we've had. But yeah, I'm not entirely certain how to fix the CPU problems, because I'm not running that much, and it's basically OBS and Blitz together that are eating up my entire CPU. That's not really a good thing. But I'll talk to Lopa, see if he knows any fix that I might use. He's sort of like my guru when it comes to stuff like this. I actually Did get an Instagram. I don't actually use it. The thing is though that I find it quite useless. I use Facebook, but I use Facebook as under my real name with real things. And I don't need another Facebook anything, even if it's called Instagram instead. But here we go. 12 seconds left to go. And then we go into the first match of the second matchup. And we'll see what happens. And here we go. Still believe that missiles should not be in the game. It's not okay to be hit when you're behind cover and angled and everything. It's just wrong. That's not what I started playing this game for. And here we go. Up and away. And we see Appa, aside from Ernest, focusing on the base A side. And Don Vano and Whoops are going to base C side. Whoops having been spotted by Ernest and vice versa. Jennifer going down, probably wanted to go after Whoops. And we hear the missile fly. Base B now being taken though. Base A as well. Nick pushing in, but he can't really shoot him. Repositioning. Base B has been kept. They are shooting people in a spot where there's no one at. But we do see that Object 3 has been pushed up above. Question is, will he be able to get the shots in from there? Whoops, turning around, not wanting to be there. But with one base in Legion's hands and two in Appa's, Object 3 now climbing higher. And they know where the T-22 is. Ernest launching another missile, getting hit in. Let's see, Nick moving in. Overall, not all that much happening. A little bit of HP gone on both sides. I was going to say about 800 difference in total, but it's now 300. But Appa having those two bases is a thing though. And you have Object 3 that is getting shot at. Ernest having been spotted. Let's see if he pens. Oh, he does! And this is something fun because Object 3 keeps moving whenever he's shot. Appa now pushing in. Legion as well. They're going after Jennifer. They've taken base B. Jennifer is the next in line to get murdered. Angie not looking too healthy. Oh, but that is a massive hit into the E5 there. Angie taken out, but they've lost the gun doing that, so that's pretty much just evens the score instead. Big hit into Marcinek there. We see a missile hit. Aggie losing quite a bit of HP. Not sure what Don Vano is doing. He is pushing quite aggressively. Object 3 has moved down. Cappy not looking too healthy. He is taken out. Marcinek still alive. Whoops arriving. Going across the back. And they're going after Moika. There he goes. And basically now suddenly Legion is wrapping things up. Ernest is still alive, but he is ignored. Even if he gets another shot, it's not going to be much difference. And he doesn't even do that because it bounces on the back of Eggy. Marcio almost gone. Nick is going to chase after Ernest. Ernest is leaving. Froggy not looking too healthy either. And we have two Sheridans facing off against the Sheridan. And that is one way to kill him. Jump on top of the tank. It does not kill him though, and he still lives. But that is quite an ending to a first game. And this is something with Legion stealing back that base B, that sort of kind of unraveled it, because Yennefer being where she was, not being able to get anywhere, getting Legion in the backside basically, and Appa only pushing then. If they had pushed sooner and taken out those E100s, it might have been different. They knew where Object 3 was, even though they weren't exactly sure about position, but they knew whereabouts he was. They could have used that. So yeah, in just over a minute we go into the second match of this matchup. Legion now completely ready with 3 IS-4s, 1 E5, 2 Sheridans and an E100. And they're going to go up against 2 IS-4s, 1 Sheridan, E100, a T22 medium and 2 E5s. 50 seconds left to go before we go into the game. Just need to be a tiny little bit patient now. But like I said, this is always the boring part. And I kind of run out of things to say. Actually, I've always focused on talking about the turning points. Usually the turning points are when someone does something they shouldn't have done. Sometimes the turning points are people making the push. In this case, Legion going after base B and Yennefer being where it was were both turning points. And Appa pushing in late. Kiwi is being full cheerleader again. Absolutely love it. 10 seconds left. Here we go. Countdown clock has begun. And we go into the game. And let's see. E100 is a tank that most camos don't look good on. I do like this look, but still it's not, it's a bit It's better than others though. And it would help if the battle would actually begin for me as well. There you go. And let's go up, up and away. Ernest heading towards base A. The Legion Sheridans heading towards the middle. Blind shot fired into where Nick is. They expect him to be there. Now he has actually been spotted too though. Base A being capped, but immediately he gets punished for it. And he pulls back. Nick no longer there, so he doesn't get shot. Base C is being capped. Oof, big hit into Ernest there. And another one. Ernest not looking too healthy right now. And now Legion has a base advantage and they will have a point advantage. Yennefer is capping. Let's see. Aggie taking some damage there. But with about a tank's worth of points difference, Appa now also has a base. And it's actually nice to hear the gun sounds because you know that the E100 is fired at Nick, at Whoops. But he wasn't actually there. Last in a pretty forwards position. Legion overall in pretty forwards positions. But they're not really eager to push him. Donovano in an interesting position here. Angie losing a little bit of HP. Whoops going back towards the middle. Wanting to get that shot in. Angie and Eggy both moving forwards. Eggy losing HP as he crosses over. That missed though. Ernest still alive, just don't ask how. And now Whoops is going in and he's going for base B. To up the ante. Get more difference between the two. And we see some action going on here. Big hit there by NG. And Appa is pushing. Oh, that is the end of Marcinek. That was like instant deletion. And now we have Masio moving in. But there are more Legion guns here than they had anticipated. And with that, Masio has also gone. We have Moikar that is left. Not for long though, not when they get shot like that. Lars might not survive this. But, and he does not. But the amount of guns already gone is quite big. Angie now also moving in. Aggie has been taken out. Ernest has been taken out. We basically have a 5 versus 3. But look at the crossfire. Look at the positions that Legion is at. Keeping the target. Basically making it nearly impossible for Appa to do anything at all when focused like this. And Angie actually focusing on Kappa rather than Froggy. Moving in. There's only 2 tanks left now. And Legion is definitely going to take this home. Whoops might not survive it. But he does get another hit in. And it's actually a missile from Dakidas that takes out Kapi. And now Jennifer is still alive and will survive. Because of the fact that they already reached 100 points. And the second match is for Legion. Again, it started out like really slowly, very patient gameplay. And then suddenly, there we go. And that's the end. 3.5 minutes. And we are moving on to Oasis Bombs. Oasis Bombs looks like this. You have 3 bases. Base A in the upper left corner. Base B in sort of city-like-ish area. And base C in a desert-ish area. I much prefer the positioning around base C. But it is more difficult to dominate 2 bases together there. And of course it is a team battle. So basically people can do anything with any lineup. On any map anywhere. So I've more or less given up on saying where I expect people to go. Mostly because there's no real way to guess that. Aside from when I see a lot of super heavies, because there are just positions that super heavies will not work well in. So instead you see Jennifer that has taken the mouse. And that makes it very, very likely that Jennifer will take a position somewhere around the city-ish area. So probably overlooking base B. Legion completely ready with a 268, 2 IS-4s, 2 E5s and 2 Sheridans. So relative mobile but heavy lineup. And they're going to go up against a mouse, 2 Sheridans, 3 IS-4s and an E5. Very similar lineups except for the fact that Appa is taking a mouse and Legion is taking a 268. And there we go, with 1 IS-4 changed into an E5. That is minus the 268 and the mouse exactly the same lineup. So that's going to be fun to see. 14 seconds left to go before we go into the game. And let's see. Also, there is 10 spots in a team. You don't have to register with a full team though. I have a feeling that Legion registered with 9. I can check after. Haven't actually really looked at that. Or one of them isn't here in any case. But there's 10 in total. And let's see. We hear the countdown clock. My game is freezing a little bit again. And here we go. Up, up and away. Appa with the Sheridans heading towards the desert. Legion with the Sheridans doing the same thing. Along with the E5s with the speed boost. Whereas the rest of Appa is focusing on the city side. Missiles are going and hitting. Whoop's probably going to take another hit. No, he does not. He saves his shell. But the first hit has been done. Base B is being taken. Appa taking another one. Don Vano getting hit here. We see a missile flying, not hitting. Ernest losing some more HP. Lost also losing some HP there. Oh, and that is deletion. Ernest has been taken out. Don Vano waiting patiently to take that shot. Letting them actually get that cap, because I think that was the case. Of those IS-4s, they were meant to keep this from happening, but they've already taken the tank out, and that is definitely worth something as well. Froggy losing lots of HP as well. And now running off towards the corner. Moikar also losing some HP. Legion is steadily pushing in, but being careful. The Sheridans running around. Jennifer indeed taking position around base B, but not really in the best of positions right now. And Legion can't really push into base B yet, but we have the E5s now going after Marcinek. And Marcinek pulling back. That missile did not... Oh, that shot actually did not pen. And the E5s patiently here. Last pushing into the city, getting some shots into Yennefer. There goes Marcinek. The Sheridans are moving in. Froggy. Moika is actually the first one to go here. We see missiles flying, but then Froggy gets murdered. And we have Kapi. No, they decide to go after Marcinek instead. Or maybe not, they're going a bit for both. And with Appa having 2 bases is not going to save them. Base A is now being contested, but that's only because Kapi is right in there. Don Vano taking out Masio. There goes Yennefer and there goes Kapi, and that is the last tank. So that is a current 3-0 for Legion. And it's even a 7-0 in players in this game. Look at the difference in damage though. Oof. And I think in this case, Ernest being taken out, both Sheridans did exactly 0 damage. That is the weakness. But if you look at the Sheridans on the other side, they didn't like necessarily master carry, but still, they got quite a few shots and they were running around and everything. And let's see, the pressure is definitely on Appa now. They have to win the next 4 games in a row to get this point. And same thing as with Loka. It is a very difficult thing to do when you are up against a Legion that is in this shape. Mr. Rock'n'Roll 4 just said it quite nicely. Damn, Legion is Mike Tyson in Blitz. So it's just under a minute left to go. Appa seems to be taken. An E5, 2 Sheridans, an STB, another E5, an IS4 and a 113. And they're going to go up against a 268, a Sheridan, 2 of them, 2 E5s, an IS4, maybe 3 Sheridans even. Let's see. They still have 40 seconds to ready up. Angie now unreadying, potentially taking something else. And there we go. So it's a 268, 2 E5s, an IS4, 2 Sheridans, and potentially another E5. That speed boost in maps like this can make such a difference. And no, they're going with an IS4. So pretty much the same lineup as last game. Whereas Appa is taking something completely different. And I think that they will be focusing a lot on the C side of things here. And here we go. Let's see what happens. It's funny to see what people are saying in the chat, because you're like literally a battle behind. So let's see. Here we go. Up and away. If my camera actually lets me. There we go. Legion focusing on the desert side. Appa doing the same thing. And there you go. My camera is back, seems like. Whoopsie being very aggressive, but for a good reason, because he's now spotted pretty much everyone. Dakuda's losing a bit of HP. My game is freezing. That is not hopeful. It would help a lot if you were like working. There you go. Dakuda's losing a lot of HP already. But that is basically what happened with Ernest. There's lines of fire there. Missiles getting shot but not penning. No bases having been kept. But Marcinek is the odd one out, and he is alone. And when you're up against a clan like Legion, being alone is very, very dangerous. So whereas Legion has to be careful with their positioning, Marcinek is definitely the odd one out and the target to murder. Ventium. Oof, no, that actually hit the rock. And now Marcinek is shooting Nick. But that is the last thing that he does. And we see another missile that actually bounces. Appa is pushing in on the other side. 268 and the E5s are in trouble. Everyone is losing HP quite fast here. They can only just make them as expensive as they can. Cappy losing a lot of HP. NG has been taken out. There goes Cappy. Ooh, Object 3 getting absolutely deleted here. And that shot not penning might have been very expensive. But still, gun-wise, it is going up quite the same. Jennifer not looking too good. Juicy now the preferred target. Dakudas has been taken out. There goes Jennifer. And now Masio is the preferred target. And with that ram, followed by that shot, it is now 3 versus 3. Juicy not looking too healthy, and they're up against 2 Sheridans. They need to be careful though, because they're actually using Juicy as cover here. 3 versus 2. Their IS4s though, so it might work. No, that doesn't depend. Double shot here. But that is an expensive shot to take. Trying to show you the whole action. Moika. Big hit into last. They're not really focus firing at this stage. But there goes Ventium, and only last is left. And like the last time, it was a 3-0. And then Loka won a game, and in this case, Appa is winning a game. And that is it. Appa takes home their first victory for this matchup. Kiwi is like the best cheerleader ever. And again, this was relatively close, but Appa in this case pushed very well. With Legion sending several tanks after their lone tank, they pushed into Legion's weaker side. Well, not necessarily weaker side, but they had more tanks, which means more guns. And that can work out very well. So now you are going to one of my other favorite maps. We're going to Canal. Canal has 4 bases. Base A in the upper left corner. Base D, the map base. Base C and D closer to their respective spawns. We've seen some very interesting gameplays over the tournaments on this map, because it's one of the larger maps, and that makes it in that way a lot more interesting to watch. There's places where you can decap base B and especially base C, so that the team can't cap them. So with Legion starting on the north side, which is red on this map preview, it can be very interesting to see what they do with it. 51 seconds left to go. Legion has completely readied up in a 268, 2 E5s, an IS4, a T22 medium, and 2 Sheridans. And we see on the other side, we see a relatively similar lineup with a mouse, 2 Sheridans, an STB, a T22 medium, and 2 IS4s. It will be fun to see what they do with this, because when you see the lineup that you're going to go against, in this case, when it comes to base D, I generally don't want to contest it if the enemy has a lot more medium tanks than I do. But at the same time, if you have a good team and you have the E5s, you can go anywhere. 14 seconds left to go before we go into the match. Here we go, the countdown clock has begun. And in 5 seconds we get to see the next match. Here we go. And in the meantime, please talk English in the chat so that everyone can understand you. I know Dutch, I am reading what you're saying, but still. So here we go. Appa focusing on the base D side. Legion doing the same thing. Camera freezing again, which is always what we want to see, of course. Base D now being capped. Base C is being capped. We are sort of in a stalemate position because nobody really wants to push versus the Sheridans. And we see some missiles heading there. Jennifer taking a bit of a hit. And I kind of want to show you everything. Jennifer not in the best of positions there. And now the E5s have arrived. Ernest. Ooh, the Sheridans are in potential trouble. But they're actually missing their shots. Ernest almost gone. Ernest is gone. Dakudas being absolutely obliterated. But Froggy is not looking too healthy either. Dakudas has been taken out. There goes Froggy. Cappy not looking too healthy either. T22 medium versus an STB is generally going to go into the T22's favor. And he does take another shot. But there we go. NG takes him out in the IS-4. Whoopsie has been taken out. Big hit into Masio there. And there goes Masio. It is 5 versus 3. Moikar not in the best of positions. Lost still getting a shot in, but he's now going to be gone. Unless he gets this bounce, but he doesn't. It is 4 versus 2. Jennifer is now arriving. This is the danger of taking him out. It takes them forever to get anywhere. And basically this was Legion waiting for those E5s to arrive and then just pushing, and that was brilliant. There goes Masiak and only Jennifer is left. With 4 tanks around him, that's not going to go well for him. And they don't even need to cap a base. Object 3 moving in. But it is Don Vano that takes him out. And Legion has to match up. Very nice brawl game. This is something... Oof, look at the difference in damage though. This was basically Legion biding their time, sort of like tricking them, and then when the rest of Legion was arriving, they just pushed in straight in. And that really worked because basically Appa missed guns on that side, or at least it took them too long to get there. And then their fast tank pushed in and Legion just absolutely massacred them for it. Very well done. Less than 2.5 minutes, oh my god. So that is Legion with another point. So far, they've not lost any. And let's see. There we go, that's already updated. And they're up against Imor on Saturday, sorry. Last week it was Sunday, that's why I'm confused. So Legion has the potential to take this home with a 7-0 in victories, and that would be quite a feat. Let's see how this has gone. Veil lost to Raid, but is now facing EG, which is also not an easy clan to deal with. EG didn't go to the Twister Cup offline finals last year for nothing. This is still going. Of course, that's what we were just looking at. What is Raid doing right now? Let's have a look. Versus Loka, that is still going as well. And Souls. And that is still going as well versus Imor. I'm not going to wait for all of that. We should all tune into Every and see what is going on there. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you, the teams, for their lovely gameplay. Thank you, Legion, for all the fun that we've had over the last couple of weeks. I know that I'm not streaming you. I think... Actually, no, I say that. I'm actually going to check that before I say anything. Because, like I said, brain nerves and everything. But on Sunday, I will be streaming. Let's see. I will be streaming Veil versus Souls, so no. I will have the coin stream, however, but Legion will be streamed by Every at that point. So, thank you for all the lovely games that we've had, that you've shown us. It's been so much fun. Praise be to the donut. It's still going to be a meme for, well, pretty much every time I see New Bay. And, yeah, it's just been epic. And hopefully I'll see you back in the final stage. Well, actually, no. I'm certain I'm not going to see you back in the final stages. Because there's no way. You only have 1 battle left to go and you've not lost a single one. So I'll definitely see you there. But this is still sort of like an end of the round robin. So yeah. Anyhow, thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to be tuning into Every and I hope to see you there on the stream. And I wish you all a very, very good night. And I will see you all on Saturday. Bye bye.